What's up, adventurers? Welcome back to the channel, where we dive into wild fantasy stories that will blow your mind. Today's episode is about an office worker whose life flips upside down when he literally gets sucked into his TV and tossed into another world. Yup, an isekai with a twist. So grab your snacks, because this ride is gonna be crazy. A young man spends his days stuck in the same boring routine. Wake up, work, repeat. Every single day feels like copy-paste. On the surface, stability like that should be comforting, but deep inside, he craves something different, something exciting. One night, after dragging himself home from yet another workday, he plops on the couch and turns on the TV. Out of nowhere, zap, he's pulled straight into the screen, face to face with a mysterious figure. This man introduces himself as the one who manages the solar system. Naturally, our office worker freaks out and asks, "Wait, so alien?" But the stranger shakes his head. He's closer to a god, though more like the middle manager of the universe. As they chat, the cosmic overseer starts ranting about his headaches with a planet called Medius. Civilizations there keep collapsing like dominoes no matter what he tries. That's why he's interfering. All it takes is one ripple, just one person, to shift the entire fate of a world. And he's chosen this ordinary Japanese guy to be that ripple. Oh, and by the way, small detail, the worker's already dead. If he says no, his soul just, poof, gone forever. But if he agrees to go to Medius, he'll be gifted with special abilities of his choosing. Excited, the man quickly rattles off requests. First up, he wants the chance to meet kind, lovely female companions. The overseer chuckles but promises it'll happen. Next, he's granted recognition magic to identify valuable materials, a storage pouch to keep his loot, auto-translation so he can speak the local tongue, and a bundle of resistances to keep him safe. The manager glances at the list like, maybe I gave him too much. But before anything can change, the office worker's body starts glowing and fading away piece by piece. With no turning back, he's hurled into a brand new world. When he opens his eyes, the sight leaves him speechless. Rolling fields, dazzling skies, the kind of screensavers wish they had. But then reality hits. What now? He decides to find people first. After trekking for a while, he spots a village in the distance. But how is he supposed to buy food without cash? That's when he remembers recognition magic. Maybe he can gather and sell resources. Testing it out, he picks up a random stick and shouts, "Activate recognition magic." Nothing. He just looks like an idiot yelling at wood. Trying again, he scribbles the word search in the dirt and says it aloud. Boom. Glowing symbols appear, highlighting items around him. Jackpot. Experimenting more, he tries check, investigate, scan. Finally, one of them works, and a floating info panel pops up, describing a flower in detail. Thrilled, he starts gathering everything he can. But most items are low grade. Even worse, he accidentally picks up dung, thinking it's a material. Yeah, literal poop. Only after the magic tags it excrement does he realize. Disgusting, but hey, lesson learned. With enough stuff collected, he heads for the village before nightfall. At the gate, a half-asleep guard asks if he's a traveler. The man introduces himself as Takaru. Surprised by his height, the guard wonders if he's a warrior. But Takaru explains he's just selling materials. The guard introduces himself as Marlowe, a patrolman, and notes that gatherers are rare here. Since there's no dedicated material shop, he directs Takaru to the general store. Inside, Takaru nervously asks the shopkeeper if he'd actually buy dung. The merchant examines it, grins, and declares it hammer antler droppings, valued for strength and color. He offers 5 silver coins. Takaru, clueless about the economy, asks how much an inn costs. Turns out, 500 raves per night, with 1 silver coin worth 1,000 raves. Doing the math, Takaru realizes this poop is worth about 50,000 yen back home. He's floored, especially when the merchant lovingly rubs it against his cheek like it's a plushie. Encouraged, the shopkeeper checks the rest of Takaru's pouch and finds even rarer stuff. Impressed, he asks why Takaru came here. Takaru explains he's traveling, collecting materials. Without missing a beat, the merchant offers him a job. Fetch mithyl ore from the eastern mountain. But first, payment. For today's haul, the merchant hands over 360,000 raves. Takaru's eyes nearly pop out. That's 3.6 million yen. Still, the merchant warns him monsters prowl the eastern mountain. Later, Takaru finally rents a room at the inn. All he really wants, a nice hot bath. But instead, an inn worker barges in with just a basin of water, costing 30 raves per use. Takaru asks if they seriously don't have bathtubs. She explains only nobles get that luxury, unless he finds a mage who can use cleaning magic, which they don't have here. Sighing, Takaru pays up, tips her, and is left alone again. Curious about the idea of cleaning magic, he experiments. After thinking for a moment, he yells, "Clean!" And just like that, the spell activates, scrubbing his body spotless. His shocked yell echoes down the hall, but he doesn't care. He's sparkling fresh and loving it. The next day, Takaru returns to the forest, getting the hang of material hunting. While exploring, he stumbles across a sword icon marking a fallen warrior. Respectfully, he buries the body, plants the sword as a grave marker, and offers a prayer. By evening, he casts Barrier, summoning a protective shield before making stew from spices, veggies, and meat. As he tastes it, he realizes this life might actually be the best thing that's ever happened to him. The following morning, he ventures into the forest of white trees, the ancient dragon's territory. Searching for mithyl ore, he grows frustrated. No monsters, no ore, nothing. Maybe he smells so bad, even monsters avoid him. Rushing forward, he doesn't notice a cliff until it's too late and plunges into a gorge. In panic, he screams, "Glide!" Miraculously, the spell slows his fall, landing him safely. Down below, he discovers silver ore. Not what the merchant asked for, but valuable. Using search magic, he detects a signal deeper inside. Suddenly, the ground shakes. He blasts a rock with ignite plus eruption, creating a huge explosion. Inside the shattered stone lies mithyl ore, A+ rank. Still, curiosity drives him deeper, where he discovers a crystal-clear spring. Recognition magic labels it SS rank material, infused with dragon mana. And then, an ancient dragon rises from the water. Takaru bows immediately, apologizing for trespassing. The dragon, amused by his composure, introduces himself as Valdius. He notes the magical energy radiating from Takaru rivals his own. Takaru casually asks if he can just call him Van, and surprisingly, the dragon agrees. Valdius requests Takaru's help, use his pure magic to revive his dormant child. In return, Valdius will reward him with mithyl. Takaru agrees. The dragon lifts a massive black egg, telling him to pour his magic into it. Takaru whispers, "Heat," warming the egg. But instead of just warming, the egg starts pulling his very life force in. As Takaru's consciousness drifts into an astral void, a strange figure appears, scolding him for acting recklessly. The entity reveals it's been tweaking this world for eons. But Takaru's arrival is like a storm rewriting the rules. Because of that, the entity decides to nerf some of his overpowered abilities granted by the solar system overseer. Takaru awakes to the sound of a baby crying. He conjures light, revealing Valdius's egg has hatched. The dragon allows Takaru to name the child. He chooses B, short for black, due to its scales. Valdius mishears it as beetle black, and the name sticks. Grateful, Valdius entrusts B to Takaru, declaring he's strong enough to protect the hatchling. Before vanishing back into the lake, Valdius casts a mysterious spell on Takaru's bag. Now responsible for B, Takaru invites the little dragon to join him on his journey. But before setting out, he realizes the hatchling smells awful. Grimacing, he casts clean again, saving both their noses. And that's where we'll leave Takaru and his new dragon buddy B for today. From boring office life to raising a baby dragon, talk about a career change. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, drop your theories in the comments, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what happens next in this epic isekai adventure. Until next time, stay legendary.